creativity. I've always been a very artistic, creative person.
Now there it serves you well. In other words, as long as I can remember, I've been a very creative person. That was good.
So, but lately, that creativity has kind of stopped, and I don't know how to make it keep going.
So we're going to show you. You see, so you keep thinking that what you're looking for is a tool to change behavior. And we want you to understand that all you're looking for is a statement right now that causes you to offer a vibration more in the direction of what you want. In other words, we want you to understand that law of attraction is responding to you, and that the thoughts that you choose as you're forking equal your point of attraction, and then everything follows those. And so you said, at which we applaud, you said, I've always been really creative. So that was a really good statement. I've always been creative. And if you had your ear to the ground and you were listening to how that felt, I've always been creative. That was a really good fork. But then you said, but lately, and that's all right, because we want you to understand you can go always, 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 but lately, but better, but I've noticed, but for the most part things are going well. However, in other words, we're not asking you to make a beeline to the corner where all of the good stuff is. We just want you to be aware of which direction you're going. It's really an interesting thing to watch people who are on their journey to something that they want, going this way, then 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 this way, and then complain, I can't get there. And we say, stop turning around and going in the opposite direction. And they say, well, how do I know I'm doing that? And we say, it doesn't feel as good. When you're going away from what you want, it doesn't feel as good. When you're moving toward what you want, it feels increasingly better. So now, take that statement of creativity and march toward what you want. In other words, just make an effort here.
I've always been very creative, and I can continue to be a creative individual.
Good, keep going.
It's like, okay, I don't know where to go from there.
Well, try. Carve something out. That's like Jerry and Esther being out in there in the desert and saying, I don't know where to go, so we'll just sit here till the sun melts us.
I can continue to be creative, and I can do that in small increments.
Good statement.
Steps.
Do you understand the task at hand? The purpose for this self-conversation?
Yes.
What is it?
To put me, or to allow me to get into a better, or to continue a vibrational path towards who I really am.
Accurate statement, but we want you to see it even simpler, because that sounds like it's a means to an end. In other words, it'll put me in a better vibration so that I can attract more of what I want. And of course that is a given. But we want you to say, my goal right now is to give myself some relief from this discomfort that is resistance. In other words, I'm just trying to make myself feel better. I'm just trying to find a thought that feels better than the one I was thinking. The one I was thinking is, I've been creative, but I'm not now. That doesn't feel so good. So which thought feels better? I am creative or I'm not?
I am.
So which thought feels better? I've been creative before and I lost it, or I am creative, and when the right thing comes along, I'll feel the inspiration for it. Which feels better? I was creative and I used it all up, or I am creative, and when something that really rings my bells is before me, I'll really feel it. Which feels better? I should force myself into creativity, or there are creative things on the way and I'll know them when I see them. Which feels better? I've lost my knack, or I'm collecting data. Which feels better? I'm not good at this, or I'm learning to be good at this. You see, there's just simple little differences. But as you are determined that you're going to say the thing that feels the better, it's like giving yourself the benefit of the doubt. It's like self-encouragement for the purpose of reviving your connection. because creativity is about alignment. And so what you said is, I've been in alignment and the creativity flowed, but now I'm sort of in a dry spell. And so we say, what feels better? I'm in a dry spell, or I'm closing the gap. What feels better? My creativity is waning, or it's really going to be fun when I hook back up with it. What feels better? I'm not doing anything creative right now, or I'm collecting data and I can feel the juices begin to flow.
I guess for me it's always been an all or nothing, kind of a black and white
Well, you better
attitude.
get over that, because you can't quantum leap.
And that's exactly it. I have to learn how to take smaller steps.
And be proud of the smaller steps. And you see, if you could really hear us, that these points of vibrational relativity will always give you the reward of releasing resistance and becoming more of who you are, then you'll start enjoying your journey. There are so many people. We often start the gatherings by saying, are you enjoying the contrast of your time and place? And people lie and say yes, but they don't really mean it. And then we really try to rub it in and we say, are you among the rare humans who are thrilled with your unfulfilled desires? And the audience usually groans, because they want the things to be fulfilled, and they are not happy often until they are. And we want you to come to this place where you are excited about the unfolding. We want you to be thrilled that here you are and that you have become more, and then we want you to enjoy the process of closing the gap. We want you to enjoy the process of the release of resistance. We want you to feel proud when you release a little resistance. We see someone moving from despair into a place of feeling angry, and we feel the visceral release within them. And if they could stop and consciously acknowledge, I found this angry thought on purpose, and I feel better for having found it. Now, a feeling of pride sweeps over them, because they're now in control of their own experience, you see. We really want you to get it, and we can feel it with all of you to some degree. You've been comparing yourself with too many others for so long that you aren't allowing yourself the refreshment of your own movement, when everything that your life is only about your own movement between where you are and where you want to be. We promise you that Source is not looking down at all of you and acknowledging, oh, that one's doing so much better than that one, and that one's doing so much better than that one. There's nothing like that going on. You do that to yourselves, but the only thing that's happening with Source is looking at you and knowing who you have become, and is eager for you to let yourself be what life has caused you to become. But that's it in terms of Source's awareness of you. And so Source is calling you constantly toward who you are. And when you relax into that and you're thrilled with the new idea, and you stop measuring yourself against others, and instead, in other words, we would love to see you go to work, have an argument with someone, feel bad about it, and then talk yourself out of feeling bad. We would say, ooh, what good life experience that was. She had a knee-jerk reaction. She acknowledged that she wasn't allowing herself to be who she really is. She found a way to feel a little better, and she gave herself relief. Oh, what a wonderful way to spend an afternoon. You see, and so as life reveals itself to you, and you just keep letting yourself become and then get up to speed, and let yourself become and get up to speed, that's what creativity is. Your life will inspire the new idea, and letting yourself get up to speed with the new idea has to be the ultimate definition of true creativity, you see. That's what it is. But no one finds creativity when they've decided that they've pinched themselves off from it, or that the well has dried up. It never will dry up. And Source will always call you toward it. What else?
That's it.
No, there's more. One more thing. Give us one more thing.
Okay. I have read, several books that Abraham has written, and there are some games that I have been playing. One of them is and I don't know what the name of it is, but it's the checkbook where you pay yourself every day, and then try to find ways to spend the money. And I was quite surprised to find out that I ran out of ideas for spending this money after about 90 some odd days.
That's the whole point of the game. The whole point of the game is to stimulate your awareness of, in other words, as you are expanding, most people do not do a very good job of visualizing. Most people are just observing what is. And that game forces you into an active imagination. Now, here's the real power of this game. Your own life experience has caused you to fill your vibrational escrow bank full of millions and millions of dollars. We've seen them. They're there. You put them there, and they are yours. Nobody else can come in and take them. What that game does, that game causes you just to lightly become a vibrational match to what you've already put over there in vibrational escrow. The game doesn't put it there. The game causes you to release resistance, you see. And in the same way that it's been a little bit of a struggle here, and don't feel bad, you're not alone in this. It is for everyone at first to begin deliberately moving up this emotional scale. The reason it feels like a struggle to you is because you're just not that practiced at just letting your thoughts go toward what feels better. You're very practically minded, and it feels to you like if you're going to spend your time doing something, that it should be something that makes something happen. And frankly, for most of you, visualization's just a little too frivolous. And for most people, as they listen to us try to coax somebody up the emotional scale, most people around the world listening in on this would say, when is Abraham going to tell that poor woman what to do? And we say, never. We're not ever going to tell you what to do. We're only going to give you ideas about how to change the way you feel. Because we know that vibrational escrow is all full of the answers. And when you change the way you feel, they will be revealed to you over and over and over again. And you're going to call it creativity, but it isn't what it is. It's just allowing yourself the revelation of what's already waiting there for you.
I think I surprised myself because I had always thought that I would have no trouble spending a lot of money. And I found out that it's not as easy as I had thought it was going to be.
Most people have the ability only to spend what's in their current bank account and at the boundaries of their credit limit. In other words, most people have not, before they begin playing such a game, most people have not allowed themselves to expand. And the thing that we want to, if you remember some of the fine print that you were reading around the game, if the game isn't fun, we don't encourage anyone to continue pursuing it. But if you find it fun to imagine, then it's a game that's opening up your vibrational blockages and allowing that stuff that's waiting for you in vibrational escrow to flow in. It's a powerful game.
Yes, and I had a lot of fun with it up until it became too much work to try to think up ways of spending the money every day.
But we've noticed as we've been chatting with you, however, it keeps feeling like too much work to reach for something that feels a little better. And it may be because you're trying to do too much too fast. But we want you to begin softening that and begin saying to yourself, it's not work, it's really quite easy. It's just a matter of focusing until I find it. And if I stay here focused long enough, I will find it. But when you say it's too much work, can you see how you've turned around and you're going in the opposite direction? When you say, but the work is worth it, can you see how you've turned around and gone in the other direction? When you say it's not hard work, it's just focused work. And it turns out that I create through my power of focus. And most of us, say to yourself, are locked in to what we're focused upon. We think the same thoughts about the same things over and over and over again, which means law of attraction can only give us the same old stuff, different places, different faces, but the same result. Ornery employers everywhere I go, not enough money everywhere I go, people not seeing my talent and not respecting my ability everywhere I go. And we say, you got to do something different. You can't expect the environment to change so that you can feel better. You've got to force yourself to feel better, and then the environment changes. That's how it works, you
Right.
see. And we don't disagree with you. We think it is work. But we want to say to you, even though there may be lots of opportunities in a day to clean it up a little, there are only a handful of issues. And every day that you make the effort to clean it up a little better, to close the gap a little better, you change your point of attraction. And law of attraction will bring you the evidence of your change in vibration. So you just get feeling more and more confident and more willing.
And I have seen that
Yes.
recently.
Yes. Very good.
Thank you very
Yes,
much.
indeed. Yes, indeed.